It's our September 2021 update. The first video, when we showed the Boybots at that stage of development, featured a catamaran style design, which was about a 600mm diameter. Where we are now with our Boybot design is that they are circular. They are 350mm roughly diameter of the hull, still feature the same two motors, still features the same flight control system inside. The top works rotate freely, got some colour in there now, and they hold station just as well as the previous units. And we're really happy now with the control of many Boybots to one transmitter. So today's test is a return to launch test. Here's our Radiomaster T8 Pro. It's a relatively new piece of equipment. And this is an open source piece of gear, so it's fully programmable. Boybots, when they're delivered, will be programmed in exactly the same way that this model is. So the first thing you'll see is, like any aircraft, all switches down. 1, 2, 3, 4, everything forward, away from us on the Wii screen. And you can see up here that it says in manual mode, and it's talking first to number 6. At some point, we might change it from number 6 and call it blue, for example. Number 6 here is blue. Don't know, see how we go. Push the top screen model, and there it lists our number of buoys that we plan. So we think that the optimum number of buoys to have to set up an RC racing course is 6. 2 top marks, port and starboard at the start line, and gate at the bottom. So we'll deliver this pre-programmed for 6, no matter how many you buy. So let's assume that, for example, we don't want to run number 6 first. We're going to set off with number 3. So model, a list, up, down, and then the enter button. So I'm going to go up to number 3, click, 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 up to number 3, enter, long press. Menu comes up, confirming that I should select that model. Yes, I want to select that model. Now the asterisk and the hatch is over number 3. So number 3 now is ready to go to sea. So here's number 3. This top switch is to arm the vessel. That is to confirm the communication between the transmitter and the receiver that's on the inside. And there will be an audible signal. Then using this gimbal here, which is, we've configured it that all the driving is done off this one stick. Motor's ready to go. So I now put her in the water. And with the stick, I'm just going to drive her out. It's not an express train, but it's not designed to be. So you can see the flag. Now I can describe a circle, really tight, back and forth. That flag's pointing aft all the time, really helpful. And this takes a little bit of practice, as you'd expect. But I just put him right there, for example. And then my next switch that I go to get it to hold it in position is this one here. Flip it again up towards the user. That engages the GPS. So number 3 here, we're choosing to change positions. I'm just going to take it off the GPS. It's still armed, so it's still talking now to the transmitter, not the GPS. And I'm going to just drive that, and I'll set it up alongside your buoy number 5. I'm going to go to number 4. Right. Just push down. It highlights 4, but the asterisk is still alongside 3. So it's, for all intents and purposes, it's still communicating with 3 until I hit the enter button, long press, select the model that I wanted to, yes. Now it's saying, well, hang on, that one's still powered up. Is that okay? Yeah. Yep, sure. Enter again. Now the asterisk and the hatch and number 4. And you just heard number 4 beep. Water. Now we go. And then we go number 6, model down, enter, select that model. Happy about that. GPS off, audible signal.
Yep.
Test. So this is our first test, looking at where the boys are, thinking about the sequence to bring them back so they don't all arrive at the same time. That means I've got to scramble to deactivate them. I'll probably bring 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Let's give that a go. And I won't be in a hurry to jump between them all. So here we are. Model is selection. I'm going to number 3, up to number 3. Asterisk down there, model number up there. Long press on enter, about 2 seconds. 1, 2, select the model. Now I don't need to touch any of my switches here. I'm just going to say to number 3 on the left hand side, come on home. And I'm looking at number 3, oh here we are over here. And here she comes. So at the same time, let's just jump quickly to number 6. Down for number 6, long press. Select that model. Yes, I'm still powered on. Now it's given number 6 exactly the same warning. Now I've got to go back to number 3 because it might think that it wants to climb the wall in front of us. So I'm going up to number 3. Yep, select that model. Return to launch is off. GPS is off. Manually drive the last bit. And we're home. Let's go down to number 5, enter, model warning, come home number 5. Number 4 is nearly here, so I'll get ready for number 4, up to number 4, enter, select that model. Let's just wait for number 4 to get here. Look at that, bang on. Disarm, return to launch. Disarm GPS, disarm the model, turns the motors off. Yahoo. Yep, no worries Ian. So simple pin, unplugs, take the flag off. Now that flag isn't a wind indicator, that points to the stern of the vessel being circled and where the bottom will rotate independently of the top. You don't know where the stern of the vessel is when you're driving it out. So that is a significant aid there. Top works, comes off, very low cost piece of polystyrene. This is flexible foam, takes the impact from any boats that go past the buoy and strike the buoy. Because we need to, in our sailing anyway, you don't get any free kicks for hitting the mark. So these will push those in together. Very low cost, but very efficient. Simple mast system, and our next version, the box will be rotated through 90 degrees, but more on that in our next update in a couple of weeks' time. Loosen one wing nut, take the other wing nut off, rotate the mast, and there's our control box inside. Control box features a 6200 3-cell battery, compass sitting on top, flight controller in underneath. 2 motors. These Deutsch brand plugs are waterproof. Plug into the back and clip in. So to start up the buoy, typically like we're all used to, the radio control unit, we turn that on first. And we've got a little screen on there and we'll show that in more detail. Take the buoy, plug him in, and you'll get an audible signal, like you heard just then, did. Then in a couple of seconds, you'll get a second audible signal, as we did then. Close the lid. This is an IP67 rated box. That's electrical engineering parlance for it will take full immersion for a couple of minutes. Push that down, clip that in firmly, bring our mast across, secure our wing nuts, put our top works on, check that it rotates. We know that that's forward, that's the way our motors are, and you'll see the motors are inclined at about 5 degrees pointing down. to help the buoy drive as flat as possible. Because it is such a very short hull, a lot of power in these little motors, it will stand up. Bring the bow around to my left, put our flag on top, and there's our handle here. This will be improved, and there we go, there's our buoy bot ready to float.